Let's talk about that comforting bottle of whiskey, sitting there promising solace and relaxation. It's more than just a drink, it's an experience, a ritual you reach for after a long day. The weight of the glass in your hand, the anticipation of that first sip, it's a well-deserved reward. Maybe it's a smoky Lagavulin with its distinctive peatiness that transports you to the rugged Scottish coast, a peppery Talisker, reminiscent of the wild, windswept Isle of Skye, a true taste of adventure, or a gentle Dalwhinnie, smooth and honeyed, a comforting embrace on a cold evening. You chose it for its story, its heritage, the carefully crafted narrative that resonates with you, its artisanal charm, the image of dedicated craftsmen, time-honored traditions, and the promise of unparalleled quality. But here's the twist. That sense of choice is often a marketing illusion, a carefully constructed facade designed to make you feel unique. Behind those distinct bottles, each with its own carefully cultivated identity, is one colossal puppet master, Diageo. Diageo isn't a household name. It operates largely behind the scenes, pulling the strings of the global alcohol market. But it's the invisible hand behind your favorite drinks, orchestrating your choices without you even realizing it. Think of it as the Disney of alcohol, a sprawling empire built on beloved brands, owning a vast portfolio of brands, from whiskey and gin to vodka and beer, a diverse collection designed to cater to every taste, quietly filling its coffers, amassing immense wealth and power in the process. With every sip you take, each purchase contributes to their bottom line, solidifying their dominance in the industry. They don't slap their name on bottles. Their strategy is far more subtle and sophisticated. Instead, each brand tells its own romantic story, a carefully crafted tale of tradition and authenticity, selling you a feeling, an aspiration, a sense of belonging, a connection to place and tradition. They tap into your desire for something real, something genuine, in an increasingly artificial world. But most of these independent distilleries, with their charming stories and picturesque locations, are just cogs in Diageo's global machine, a carefully orchestrated network designed to maximize profits and maintain control. When one company controls such a significant portion of the market, so much of what we drink, the implications are far-reaching and deserve closer examination. It raises big questions about authenticity and competition. Is there truly a level playing field, or is the game rigged in favor of the giant? Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain, exposing the inner workings of this powerful corporation. On this secret empire, unveiling the strategies and tactics that have made it so successful. How it was built, through strategic acquisitions and relentless expansion. How it operates, the complex web of production, distribution and marketing that keeps the profits flowing. And the controversies it would rather keep hidden. The ethical dilemmas and potential conflicts of interest that lurk beneath the surface. So pour yourself a drink. Take a moment to consider what you're about to consume. Chances are it's one of theirs. You might be surprised by how many of your favorite brands are under the Diageo umbrella. Let's get into it. Picture a whiskey shelf, a seemingly endless array of choices. Bottles gleaming under the soft light, each promising a unique experience. Imagine it lined with Lagavulin, its smoky allure beckoning. Talisker with its maritime tang, Oban, smooth and subtly sweet, Kale Isla, peaty and powerful, Dalwhinnie, gentle and heather-kissed, Glenkinchie, light and floral, and Clynelish, waxy and complex. Looks like a tapestry of unique competing distilleries, each with its own history and character, right? A testament to the independent spirit of Scotch whiskey. Wrong. Think again. Every single one of those brands I just mentioned, seemingly diverse and independent, is owned by Diageo. This carefully curated selection is the classic Malts of Scotland collection. A marketing masterstroke brilliantly launched in 1988. A campaign that redefined how we perceive Scotch whiskey. Diageo strategically picked distilleries from different regions of Scotland, each representing a distinct terroir and style, and cleverly presented them as ambassadors of diversity, showcasing the breadth and depth of Scottish whiskey making. All while consolidating their market position and keeping profits firmly in-house. A win-win for the corporation. It's like learning about world cuisine, exploring the flavors of different cultures, but with a twist. Every single dish, no matter how exotic it seems, is ultimately made by Pizza Hut. Whiskey fans passionately debate the subtle nuances between these brands, the peat, the smoke, the finish, often not realizing that their money, regardless of their choice, is all ultimately funding the same corporate giant. Diageo's brilliant strategy masterfully creates the illusion of choice, a carefully constructed mirage of independence, capturing a huge share of consumer spending while meticulously maintaining a charming artisanal facade. Truly independent distilleries, those with genuine autonomy and unique stories, do exist, but they're constantly up against a heavily tilted playing field, facing immense challenges in a market dominated by giants. Diageo's sheer scale translates to more aggressive marketing campaigns, prime shelf space in retail stores, and ultimately, more power over the market. So next time you reach for what you believe is a unique and independent single malt, carefully considering your choice, take a moment to check who truly owns the story behind the bottle. Do a little digging. Odds are overwhelmingly high, it's Diageo. How did Diageo become this giant? It all started with Guinness, not whiskey. In the 1980s, Guinness was a brewing powerhouse with big ambitions. In 1986, it acquired the Distillers company, gaining iconic whiskey brands like Johnnie Walker and Dewar's. The deal was scandalous: share price manipulation, prison sentences, the works. But Guinness emerged as the world's biggest Scotch producer. It created United Distillers, the seed of Diageo. In 1997, Guinness merged with Grand Metropolitan, owner of Smirnoff, Baileys and J&B. The result? Diageo, a global titan with unmatched market power. The name combines day and world, a nod to its products being enjoyed everywhere, every day. The secret empire was born. Diageo's empire wasn't built on one merger, it's a relentless process of buying, selling and consolidating. After 1997, Diageo streamlined and expanded, selling Dewar's to Bacardi to appease regulators, then filling gaps in its portfolio. It snapped up Captain Morgan rum, Don Julio tequila, and Bullet bourbon, plugging holes and eliminating rivals. Each acquisition came with a ready-made story and heritage, polished and sold back to us. The 2000 Seagram deal brought Crown Royal and Captain Morgan fully into the fold. Diageo didn't build these brands. It bought their history and integrated them into its global machine. Sometimes it closed distilleries like Port Ellen, showing that tradition is always secondary to profit. The empire giveth and the empire taketh away. It's a corporate game of Pac-Man, gobbling up heritage one distillery at a time. So, what's the secret behind Diageo's success? What makes them stand out in a crowded market of spirits and beverages? Storytelling. It's not just about selling whiskey, it's about crafting narratives. They sell you provenance, the feeling your drink comes from somewhere special, a place with history and character. They're not just selling a drink, they're selling an experience, a connection to something bigger than yourself. When you buy a single malt, you're buying a story: misty glens, rugged coasts, smoky air. It's a sensory journey, all carefully curated. Talisker is made by the sea, with ads of crashing waves and fishermen, painting a picture of wild, untamed beauty. But the marketing is crafted in a London office far from the rugged shores it depicts. Dalwhinnie is the gentle Highland spirit, a smooth, approachable whiskey for those seeking comfort. Lagavulin, the smoky Islay beast, a bold, intense whiskey for the adventurous palate. Oban, the sophisticated coastal dram, a balanced, refined whiskey for the discerning drinker. Each brand has a carefully constructed personality, a distinct identity designed to resonate with a specific audience, appealing to every taste. There's a whiskey for everyone, or so they want you to believe. You think you're choosing a whiskey that matches you, a reflection of your own personality and preferences, but you're really choosing a Diageo marketing creation. You're buying into a story they've carefully crafted. This taps into our craving for authenticity, that desire to connect with something real and genuine. Diageo manufactures it at scale. The reality of mass production is often hidden behind the romantic image. Heritage becomes a brand asset, carefully curated and leveraged to build trust and appeal, a tool for market share. It's all about capturing a larger slice of the pie. The distillery is real, the buildings and the landscape are tangible, but the independence is often fiction. The small family-owned distillery is often part of a much larger corporation. The global product is dressed up as a local treasure, a carefully constructed illusion of authenticity. Diageo isn't just a whiskey company, it's a total beverage powerhouse. Its portfolio is a who's who of the global bar scene. Johnnie Walker is the world's best-selling Scotch, the financial engine of the empire. Guinness, the iconic stout, is still there, alongside Harp and Smithwick's. Smirnoff, Kettle One, and Kierock cover vodka. Gordon's and Tanqueray cover gin. Captain Morgan rules rum. Don Julio and Casamigos cover tequila, and Baileys dominates liqueurs. This diversification insulates Diageo from changing trends: vodka, gin, tequila. It owns a leader in every category. It's a one-stop shop for alcohol, with immense leverage over bars and retailers. Diageo doesn't need to predict the next big thing, it just needs to own it. Its tentacles reach every corner of the global drinks industry. The scale is staggering. No company gets this big without controversy, and Diageo's record is far from spotless. Environmental violations, check pollution fines in Scotland and the US Virgin Islands, marketing scandals, absolutely accused of targeting vulnerable groups and underage drinkers with alcopops like Smirnoff Ice, investigations in India and Africa for breaching advertising rules, labor disputes, plenty strikes over pay and pensions with unions accusing Diageo of corporate greed. The image of happy distillery workers clashes with the reality of industrial unrest. Misleading storytelling? The classic malts concept implies diversity that doesn't exist. Diageo has lobbied against public health measures putting profits before welfare. The responsible, heritage-loving image starts to look shaky. Behind the branding is a corporation focused on its bottom line. It's a sobering reality. Diageo isn't alone. It's locked in a global battle with other giants. Its main rival, Pernod Ricard, the Warner Brothers to Diageo's Disney. Both buy up iconic brands, leverage heritage, and use global networks to sell everywhere. Pernod Ricard's portfolio mirrors Diageo's Chivas Regal Absolute, Beefeater, Havana Club. The competition is fierce. A chess match with billion-dollar brands. Beer is even more concentrated. AB InBev owns Budweiser, Stella, Corona, and more. The playbook is the same: acquire, consolidate, market, and squeeze out smaller competitors. This strategy generates profits but reduces real market diversity. Our drinks cabinets are the battlefield. The illusion of choice is everywhere. So when you stand before that dazzling shelf of bottles, how much choice is real? The labels and stories differ, but the money flows to the same place. The illusion of diversity hides a concentrated market. The whiskeys are different, the craftspeople skilled, but the corporate structure is homogenized. Diageo's stories serve a corporate purpose, building brand value, driving sales. The real narrative, mergers, marketing, shareholder value, is kept behind the curtain. The ghost in the machine is corporate, focused on monetizing heritage. This is the story of modern capitalism, consolidation, global branding, and the power of narrative. The choice is still yours, but now you know who you're really choosing. Cheers.